סוף סוף חנוכה הוא חג טוב, חנוכה הוא חג טוב, סביבו סוף 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 חג שמחה הוא לעם, נס גדול היה שם, נס גדול היה שם, חג שמחה הוא לעם. סביבון סוף 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 חנוכה הוא חג טוב, חנוכה הוא חג טוב, סביבון סוף 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 חג שמחה.
Hi, shalom everybody. My name is Morah Dena. Happy Hanukkah number 6 to all of you, all of my friends out there. Happy Hanukkah to all of my friends. It's so great to be together. It's Torah time, and Hanukkah is certainly a time to learn more and more Torah. The Yevanim tried to take the Torah away from us, but we say, look at us here today, learning Torah together. Shalom to all of you, especially Bracha Tova. Shalom Bracha. Shalom everybody. Shalom to all the Chavas. Shalom to Esther and Sarah and Rivka and Rachel and Leah and Chava Sarah too. And of course, everyone else out there who loves Torah. Raise your hands if you love Torah. Me, 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 me. Hooray! It's great to be together today. And happy Hanukkah to all of you. I don't know why I feel like I'm carrying a menorah on me. I feel like Hanukkah tonight. I feel like a menorah burning so bright. I don't know why. Maybe you do. Maybe you can tell me why I feel like a menorah tonight. I feel like I'm light, full of light. I hope you do too. Well, maybe as we learn Torah, I can discover why I feel like a menorah light. Today, we are going to learn together the Parsha of the week, which is none other than Parshas Miketz, which is one of my favorite. Of course, I love every Parsha. This week, we introduce Parshas Miketz. Here it is, Miketz, Miketz. And what did we learn about Parshas Miketz? We learned, of course, as a quick review, Yosef Hatzadik is still in jail for 22 years. He's in jail. 22 years, hair growing long, beard growing long, sitting on a rock bed, no one remembering that he's in jail. We learn that Paro, of course, the king of Mitzrayim, he's having a big problem. What is Paro's problem? He cannot sleep. We learn that Paro is very disturbed. He's having dreams, and he doesn't understand his dreams. In his dream, he sees, and he's tossing and turning, he sees 7 fat cows who climb out of the river, and they're eating and saying, moo, moo. And the 7 fat cows are standing there eating everything. And suddenly, 7 skinny cows come out of the river and swallow the 7 fat cows, but they still stay skinny. They don't get fat from eating the fat cows. Paro is tossing and turning. He does not understand why, oh why, would 7 fat cows be swallowed by 7 skinny cows, and the 7 skinny cows would still stay skinny. Paro tosses and turns and has a second dream, and his second dream is none other than Paro sees in the field 7 fat bundles of corn, and they are standing with ears, delicious ears of corn, healthy and fat. 7 skinny bundles of corn rise up and swallow up the 7 fat bundles of corn, and they still stay skinny. What's going on? Paro does not understand. He knows, he wants to know, because he can't sleep. He's tossing and turning in his bed. Paro calls all of his magicians together, and his magicians cannot answer the question. They cannot tell Paro what's going on. They cannot tell Paro why he's having these strange dreams of 7 and 7, 7 and 7. What's going on? he calls in his drink master, his butler. And his butler, he tells the dreams to his butler. No one can answer the dreams. No one can help Paro, and Paro doesn't know what to do. He did not sleep a wink, not a wink. The butler comes in to pour his wine, and the king tells him about his dreams. 7 fat cows and 7 skinny cows, 7 fat bundles of corn, 7 skinny bundles of corn. Help me, help me. Butler, help me. Suddenly the butler, ding, ding. The butler has a ding in his mind. He says, oh my gosh, Melech Paro, there is someone in jail by the name of Yosef, who's probably still there. He's been there a long time. He knows about dreams. Maybe we can go check if he's still in jail, and we can bring him out of jail, and he can answer your question about your dreams. Is that a great idea? The king says, servants, right away, servants, under orders of the king, go and bring out that boy in jail, Yosef, who must be there for a long time. Yes, Yosef was there for 22 years. There he is. The thought is right in the butler's mind. There's Yosef. The officer, the servant, goes down to the jailhouse. Who is sitting on his rock bed? None other than Yosef HaTzadik, with a long, long hair and long, long beard. Long. Suddenly Yosef is sitting there, and he hears the click, clack of the key. Click, clack of the key. Click, clack of the key. He jumps up, and there is the servant, the officer, and he says, yes. And the officer says, under orders of the king, you must report to King Paro at once. He would like to speak to you. But before you go up to speak to the king, we must clean you up. You cannot go to the king looking like this. After all, Yosef's beard was growing down to the ground. Yosef's hairdo growing down to the ground. His clothing all torn up. Of course, he's in jail. They're not going to provide him with the best service there. So the servant says, you must clean up before you go to visit the king. So they quickly take Yosef, the servant, takes Yosef to the barber shop. And there they give him a really nice hairdo and trim his beard and give him new clothing so he is ready to meet with the king Paro. What a lesson for all of us. If a king walked into the room, if the president walked into the room, and certainly if a gadol walked into the room, you would all want to look your best for a king, for a president, and of course for a gadol. You'd dress in your Shabbos best, your Shabbos shoes, your Shabbos outfit. Your hairdo would be just so, because you would want to look good for the king. So friends out there, every day, we may not meet with a gadol, or a king, or a president, or whoever of greatness. But of course, every day, we meet with the King of all kings, and that is none other than Hashem, the King of the world. That's God, the King of the world. We meet up with every single day when we daven. Every day, how do we look? How do we look when we go to shul? Do we look like we're going in front of the king? Do we look presentable in front of the king? Are we dressed just so? I know the other day I was about to daven, and I looked down at my feet and I was wearing my torn up slippers, and I was about to teach this parsha, to learn this parsha with all of you, and I thought to myself, hey Morah Dena, put on your nicer shoes, put on your nicer slippers, because you're about to talk to the king. Who is that king? The king is none other than Hashem, the King of the world. So I put on my better shoesies. It wasn't my Shabbos shoes, but it was my better shoes. It wasn't my torn up slippers, because I want to look good for the king. Who is the king? Is Hashem, is the King of the world. So before we daven, before we go to shul, check what you're wearing. In the morning, of course, God forbid, if someone is sick, they'll wear their pajamas when they daven. But otherwise, we get dressed and we get ready to meet up with the king. When we go to shul, how do we look? Do we look like we're ready to meet with the king of all kings? And that is none other than Hashem, God, the creator of the world. Take a look at Yosef getting his hair cut before he goes to the king. Here comes Yosef. Yosef is meeting up with King Paro. And here is Yosef. And he goes in front of King Paro. And Paro says, "Oh, you look very familiar." "Yosef." "Yes, Yosef. I heard from the butler that you must be a very good person of dreams, that you can tell about dreams. Can you please help me? I cannot sleep at night. I am tossing and turning all night. Perhaps you can help me. Perhaps you can. Perhaps you can help me about my dreams." "Excuse me," said Yosef. He said, "I have a little tickle in my throat." That was funny. Wasn't that funny? Is that what Yosef said? He had a little tickle? So, Yosef said, "Well, I can help you with your dreams, but it's not me who helps with dreams. It is my Hashem. And if Hashem gives me the answer, I will have the answer to your dreams." So Paro says, "All right, let's do it." He says, "Here are my dreams. I was sleeping in bed, and suddenly I saw 7 fat bundles of corn standing up in the field. 7 skinny bundles came up to the 7 fat bundles and swallowed them up, and still stayed skinny. And then I saw 7 fat cows come out of the river, jump out of the river, eating grass, going moo, moo, fat, 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 fat cows. Suddenly 7 skinny cows came out of the river and swallowed up the 7 fat cows and still stayed skinny. There they are, those skinny cows, moo. Please help me with my dreams. They're so strange, they're so strange." Yosef goes over and davens to Hashem, and Hashem gives Yosef the answer. God gives Yosef the answer. Yosef comes back with the news, and he says to Paro, "Paro, King Paro, I have good news and bad news." "Good news and bad news, good news and bad news. Which news do you want to hear first?" And Paro says, "I want to hear the good news first. What's the good news?" And Yosef says, "The good news is that for 7 years, you're going to have a ton of food in your land of Mitzrayim. You're going to have a lot of food everywhere. Everyone's going to be eating, crunching, chewing all the delicious food that's going to grow in Mitzrayim for 7 amazing years." Paro said, "That's great news. That's great news. What's the bad news?" And Yosef says, "Well, after that, you are going to have 7 years of hunger. No food to be found in Mitzrayim. People will be hungry. People will be starving. There will be not even a speck of food left, just like the skinny cows and the skinny bundles of corn." So Paro says, "That's very bad news. What shall I do? What shall I do? Help, help, what shall I do? There won't be any food in my land. Oh my goodness, no food to eat, no food, help!" What's a good idea? And Yosef says, "I have a good idea. Why don't you store up the food that you grow in the 7 years of a lot of food? Store it up in storehouses. And that way, when the 7 years of hunger comes, you will have food to sell to your people." What do you think of that, Melech Paro, King Paro? Great idea, Yosef. I love that idea. And because it's such a great idea, you, Yosef, are in charge of that project. Here is my royal crown. Here is my royal ring. From now on, you are second to the king of Mitzrayim. We will call you Tzafnas Paneach, which means good-looking face. Tzafnas Paneach, because he had a very good face, good-looking face. Here is my crown. Here is my ring. You are now second to the king. Take a look at this, folks out there. From jail, from the pit, to jail, to second to the king. Hashem has a plan. Hashem has a plan. The plan is being put into action. Action. And now Yosef is second to the king of Mitzrayim. Wow, what a switch. From jail to second to the king. There was 7 years of lots of food. 7 years of tons of food. Everywhere tons of food. And then came the 7 years of hunger. Hunger. Not a drop of food to be found in Mitzrayim. Not a drop. Nowhere. Food. Hunger. But do not worry. A letter went out to all the people of Mitzrayim. Mitzrayim, you are invited to my storehouses. to come and buy food. I have lots of food to sell. Come, buy food. You will not starve. I have tons stored up. And the plan worked because people lined up for miles long buying food from Yosef. Guess what, folks? The hunger came to Canaan. Take a look at the tent of Yaakov. Here it is. Yaakov, Bilhah, Zilpah, Leah, and the 10 children. 10, 11. 11 children living in the tent. The ladies, Bilhah, Zilpah, and Leah, open the cabinets, and there's no food to eat. They go to the next door neighbors and say, could we please borrow some food? And the neighbors say, don't you know that is the 7 years of hunger? What? They go back to Yaakov, and Yaakov says, oh yes, the 7 years of hunger. We must go down to Mitzrayim and buy food from Safnas Paneach, who is selling food in Mitzrayim. Sons, come here, please. Come here, please. He calls his sons over, and he says to his sons, Reuven, Shimon, Levi, Yehuda, Yisachar, Zebulun, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, not Yosef, because he's in Mitzrayim, and not Binyamin. Binyamin has to stay home with his father, because his father would be afraid that something would happen to Binyamin, the son of Rachel. Yosef was already gone. Yaakov does not want anything to happen to Binyamin, the youngest. So he tells his 10 sons, sons, here is money. Please go down to Tzafnas Paneach in Mitzrayim and buy food. We have 7 years of hunger now. And the sons say, of course, Abba, we will go. We will go. And they travel all the way down to Mitzrayim. But not Binyamin. All the other 10 sons travel to Mitzrayim to buy food from Tzafnas Paneach. Here is a picture of Tzafnas Paneach selling food to the people in Mitzrayim. Everyone is lining up by the storehouses. Everyone is paying Yosef. Look how much food he has to sell. A lot of food to sell in Mitzrayim. And everyone is happy that they are able to buy food from the second to the king. Yes, here they come, the sons of Yaakov. The sons of Yaakov come down to Mitzrayim, down to Mitzrayim, and they go knock, 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 knock at the palace door. The servant comes up to the palace door and says, yes, how can I help you? This is the palace of Mitzrayim. Here's the servant. Here are the 10 sons, not Binyamin, and of course not Yosef. And the 10 sons say, hello, we would like to buy some food from Tzafnas Paneach. The servant says, we're sorry, but Tzafnas Paneach is closed for the day. You'll have to come back tomorrow. And they say, but we traveled here all the way from Canaan. Please let us buy food from Yosef, from Tzafnas Paneach. Not Yosef. I got tricked there. Tzafnas Paneach, they didn't say Yosef. And the servant says, well, let me check with Tzafnas Paneach. Where did you say you're from? We said we are the sons of Yaakov, and we have traveled here from Canaan to buy food from Tzafnas Paneach. Of course, the sons went in through all different doors because they did not want people to say, who are those 10 boys coming into Mitzrayim? They went in through 10 different entrances so people wouldn't say, like, who are those kids? Who are they? Who are those boys? Who are those men? They were men already. Well, the servant goes up to Yosef, Tzafnas Paneach, and says, would you please see a family that has traveled here to buy some food? And Tzafnas Paneach says, we're closed already for the day. I will go and tell them that, but they told me to please ask. They traveled here all the way from Canaan. They say that they are the sons of Yaakov. Does my face look shocked? When Tzafnas Paneach hears the news that they are the sons of Yaakov. You know what that means out there, right? You know what that means. I know what that means. That means these are his what? Clap if you think they're his brothers. You are right. They are his brothers. Shh, surprise. Tzafnas Paneach says, please let them in at once. Yes, I will see them at once. The brothers walk in, and when Yosef sees them, he has a shocked face. They all have money. They say, we are the sons of Yaakov, and we would like to buy food. There is a hunger in the land of Canaan. Could we please buy food from you, Tzafnas Paneach? They do not recognize their brother. They do not. And you know why. It's been many, many years. And of course, they do not expect. They sold him to Mitzrayim, but they never expected him to be second to the king of Mitzrayim. They never expected that. No way. Plus, he had a beard now. He was wearing his royal clothing and a crown. They did not recognize that that was Yosef, their brother. But Yosef did recognize them. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And he could not hold back his tears when he saw his brothers. He could not hold back his tears. Yosef had to go to the back, and suddenly he let out a big cry. He was crying. Yosef was crying. Why was he crying? He was happy to see his brothers. He did not see them for such a long time. Look at Yosef's face, crying, so happy to see his brothers, and also wondering what was going to happen. Whoa! As soon as he's dried his tears, he came back, and he said, well, 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 brothers, of course you can buy food from me. And he said, servants, stock up their bags. Servants, take their money. Servants, yes, yes, yes. Give them all food, take their money, and that's wonderful. Yes, let them go home to their father Yaakov, filled with their bags, filled with food. And they were so excited. Yay! The brothers were so happy. But then suddenly, before they left, Yosef said, brothers, are these all of you? Are these all the brothers? And they said, well, actually, these are all the brothers for now. One of our brothers was unfortunately gone. Hey, that was Yosef. That was him, was sitting right on the throne. His name was Yosef, and he's gone. Little do they know that that is Yosef. And we have another brother who we could not bring with us because our father was very afraid something would happen to him, like our other brother Yosef. So our brother Binyamin had to stay home. So it's the 10 of us. Yosef is gone. Oh! And our brother Binyamin had to stay home with our father Yaakov. Well, when Yosef hears this, he says, I would like to see your brother Binyamin. And they said, oh, he can't come. He can't come. He had to stay home with our father because our father was afraid something would happen to him, like our brother Yosef. And if something happens to Binyamin, then our father will, and that will be very sad. We do not want that to happen to our father. Our father is very delicate and very sad that Yosef is gone. He is from our mother Rachel. And Yosef says, well, under orders of Tzafnas Paneach, second to the king, you must bring Binyamin at once. And they say, we can't. We cannot. We can't. And they said, servants, Yosef says, servants, take that brother. What is your name? Shimon? They say Shimon. Take brother Shimon and lock him up into jail. And the brothers say, what? What? He said, you are like spies. You must bring back Binyamin or you will not see your brother Shimon again. And the brothers say, what? Oh no, what's happening? What's happening to us? What's happening to us? Oh no, what's happening to us? They take their bags of food and they walk out of the palace, and Shimon is locked in jail, as you see. Shimon is locked in jail, and the brothers leave with very sad faces on. They were first happy that they were getting food and everything good. The brothers left the palace, so sad. What would they tell their father? How will they bring Binyamin to the palace? They do not know how that could happen. How can that happen? How? They get home to their father Yaakov. And Yaakov is sitting with Binyamin, still sad, years and years later, 22 years later, that his son Yosef is gone. He never stopped crying. He was still sad. The brothers come back with bags of food, and their father, Yaakov, is in the tent with Binyamin. And suddenly he looks up and he says, I see that you got food from Safnas Paneach. Brothers, you brought back food. But where is your brother Shimon? What happened to Shimon? And the brothers say, Abba, we have some very sad news for you. What happened? What happened? Shimon was locked up in jail, and the only way that we will get him out of jail is if we bring our brother Binyamin back to Tzafnas Paneach. No, 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 you may not take Binyamin. No, no, you're not going to take him, because something will happen to him, like your brother Yosef. You may not take him. No, I say no. You may not. No. Yehuda steps forward, the brother Yehuda. And Yehuda says, Father, whatever happens, if anything happens to Binyamin, they will first do it to me. You do not have to worry. I will take care of it. I will take charge. Yehuda takes charge of it and says, Father, Abba, I will take care of it. And Yaakov says, okay. Take Binyamin and go. They bring Binyamin, travel all the way back to Mitzrayim. When they get to Mitzrayim, oy, 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 oy. They go into the palace. They knock at the door. The servants say yes. They say, we are the brothers from Canaan, and please tell Tzafnas Paneach that we have our brother Binyamin with us. The servant goes in and tells Yosef the good news. Your Majesty, Tzafnas Paneach, the brothers from Canaan are back, and the message is they have their brother Binyamin with them. When Yosef hears this, he's so excited. This is his brother. This is his real brother, Binyamin, from his mother Rachel. He's so excited. Oh my goodness, he's going to see Binyamin. He hasn't seen Binyamin in so long. Once he calms down, he gets back to his royal state. Servant, send them in at once under orders of the king. In walk the brothers. And suddenly, Yosef sees his brother Binyamin. And that's it. He cannot hold back the tears. He cannot hold back the tears. He says, servants, let Shimon out of jail. Let the brother out of jail. And he says, servants, fill up their bags. Fill up their bags with food. Fill it up. And the brothers are so excited. And he's just like staring at Binyamin. Whoa. This is my brother Binyamin. Whoa. They fill up their bags full of food, and now the brothers are so excited and so happy. Everything worked out perfectly. The brothers say, thank you, Tzafnas Paneach. Thank you so much. And he says, thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. Enjoy all your food. Enjoy all your food. As the brothers are leaving the palace, Tzafnas Paneach calls over his servant and says, servant, take the money that they gave for the food. Take my magical gavia, my magical cup, and stick it, put it in the bottom of the youngest brother Binyamin, the youngest brother's sack, and cover it up with food. Do as I say. The servant does that. The servant sticks the money and the magical gavia in the bottom of Binyamin's bag. They don't know it's in there. No one knows it's in there. And the brothers are leaving, singing, dancing, and saying, bye, Tzafnas Paneach. Thanks for the food. Thanks for the food. Thanks for the food. Thanks for the food. Bye, bye, bye. And as they're singing and dancing on their way back home to Canaan, on their way back home to their father, suddenly they hear a siren. And they think that this siren, this police force, is going past them. They get on the side. Go ahead, go past, because they're fine. They didn't do anything wrong. And suddenly the police pulled him over. First of all, here's the picture of the gavia at the bottom of the bag. The servant putting it in the bottom of the bag, of Binyamin's bag. Yeah, there it is at the bottom of the bag. See it? Hiding under the food. Suddenly, they hear the siren. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. And the brothers say, what's going on? And the police officers say, under orders of the police, pull over at once. Pull over. Pull your donkeys over. Pull your horses over at once. Pull over under orders of the law. Pull over. They say, what's going on? What's happening here? What could it be? What's going on here? What's happening? Nay, nay. The horses are saying, nay, nay, nay. And the police officer says, under orders of the police, under orders of Tzafnas Paneach, the king, second to the king, there is someone in this group who has stolen his magical gavia. And the brothers say, what are you talking about? We were just there, and they packed our bags, and we are innocent. We did not do that. You may check our bags. Check our bags, and you will see for yourself. And the police officer says, of course we will check your bag. But there is someone here who took his magical gavia. That's all there is to it. They say, check it out. The police officer goes through every single bag. Every single bag. No magical gavia. No magical gavia. No magical gavia. No magical gavia. 10 brothers. No magical gavia. And the brothers say, now leave us. We are fine. We are innocent. We are going back to our father. Not so fast, the police officer says. Not so fast. I did not check your youngest brother. And the brothers say, he is innocent. Our youngest brother is innocent. Go away. He is innocent. He did not take the magical gavia. You can check his bag. Go right ahead. And the police officer reaches into Binyamin's bag. And as he reaches in, the brothers are going like, oh. They reach inside, and there it is. The magical gavia. Binyamin is holding in his bag the magical gavia and the money too. And the officer says, it is you, the youngest brother. Come with me. And he snaps on these, of course, all of the ball and chain. And of course, he puts on everything onto Binyamin. And the brother starts screaming, no, you can't take him. No, you can't take him. No, you can't take him. Where are you taking our brother Binyamin? Our father will... You cannot take him with you. You cannot. No. And the police officer goes riding off with brother Binyamin. With brother Binyamin. Look at brother Binyamin. On the horse with the police officer. Oh my gosh. He's crying. Help, I didn't do it. How did that magical gavia get into my bag? And the police officer says, you will have to talk to Tzafnas Paneach about that. Help. The brothers are all riding after him. Stop, you can't take our brother, stop. You cannot take our brother, stop. You cannot take him. You cannot. Our father will... Stop. And under orders of the law, Binyamin must come with us. To jail he goes. And the brothers go riding up to the palace, and Binyamin is locked up in jail. And the brothers are begging at the palace gates. Let us in. We must see our brother Binyamin. We must see him at once. We must see him. We must see our brother Binyamin. You cannot do this to our father. You cannot do this to our father. And Yehuda steps forward and says, anything you want to do to our brother Binyamin, you must first do to me. Tell Tzafnas Paneach We must speak to him at once. We are innocent. This did not happen. Binyamin did not take it. Help! 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 And the Parsha, we will end there. That is amazing. Amazing. So exciting. Torah's the best. It beats all the rest. It teaches us all the lessons of life. Yiladim, yiladot, folks, grown-ups, for everybody. Torah is meant for every age. Torah is forever. Till about 120, of course. Now, folks, that is way too exciting. I hope you enjoyed learning Torah together today. Now, I'm still wondering why I have that feeling of a menorah on top of me. I feel like I'm holding the lights of Hanukkah. 1 second. Was I wearing this the whole time? How did that get on my head? Did one of you put it on my head out there? I don't remember putting it on my head. Maybe I'll light it up tomorrow night. Wouldn't that be fun to see this menorah lit up? Probably a little dangerous, don't you think? Well, guess what, folks? Before we say shalom, we're going to do a little Hanukkah quiz. Are you ready? Let's see what score you're going to get. I'm going to say a little poem and see if you can guess who in the Hanukkah story this poem is all about. Get ready. You have 10 seconds to answer the questions. The first one is, first of all, it's none other than the Yom Tov of, you guessed it, Hanukkah. Well, the question is number 1. This person has one purple eye and one eye blue. He built a gym for the Bnei Israel to flex their muscles through and through. Who was that? A Yevani king by the name of Buzz. Alexander. Raise your hand if you guessed Alexander. If you guessed Alexander, you are correct. The next little poem says, I am the blank, as you can see. No Shabbos, bris, Torah, or kosher can there be. Who said that? Who said that? Can you guess when I say Buzz? Buzz. The answer is Antiochus. Raise your hand if you guessed Antiochus. If you guessed Antiochus, you are correct. So far, you're 2 for 2, or 3 for 3, or 10 for 10, or 20 for 20, or 100 for 100. Spin little, spin, spin, spin. Spin little, spin, spin, spin. Can you guess what it says? Nun, Gimel, Hey, Shin. That's the order you put them in. Did you guess dreidel? If you did, raise your hand. Dreidel. Sivivon, so, so. Chanukah, hu chag tov. Sivivon, so. Chanukah, hu chag tov. If you got that right, you are 20 for 20. Okay. This is a soldier, so brave and so bold. Let's fight in the army of Hashem. We are told. Who could that be? What's the name of the soldier that fought in this army of Hashem? 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Maccabee soldier. If you guess Maccabee soldier, you are correct. You are 110 for 110. Maccabee soldier. Hey, you are all doing very well. You are guessing all the answers. This one is bold. 5 sons I have for me. Elazar, oldest son. Shimon, Yochanan, Yonah, son, Yehuda, Maccabee. Who was that Kohen Gadol? None other than Buzz. Matisyahu, bold. Matisyahu. Did you guess it? If you guessed Matisyahu, you are super duper, super duper. This lady in the Hanukkah story fed milchiks, dairy, to the general of Antiochus's army. What was her name? 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast off. Her name is Yehudes, fed dairy foods to the general of Antiochus's army. And that's why we eat milchik foods on Hanukkah. Dairy foods on Hanukkah. Yum, 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 yum. I'm going to have some ice cream right after this. Ben and Jerry's. Maybe Haagen-Dazs. I don't know. Ooh, my arm is as strong as a hammer. I am Hamakabi. Whoever's for Hashem, follow me. Who is that? Who is that? None other than 987654321. You guessed it. Yehuda Hamakabi. Yehuda Hamakabi. Yehuda Hamakabi. Who in the Hanukkah story had 7 sons? They refused to bow down to Antiochus's idol. Who was that lady, that very brave lady? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 7 sons. Her name is Hannah. Hannah has 7 sons who refused to bow down to Antiochus's idol. Ooh. This is what we light on Hanukkah every night. This is what we light on Hanukkah every night. Can you guess? I'm giving you a hint. I'm wearing it on my head. This is what we light every night of Hanukkah. And if you guess menorah, we wish you a very, very happy Hanukkah. Happy Hanukkah to all of you. Remember the miracles that happen to you and to me every single day of our lives. Hanukkah is a time to say thank you, Hashem, for everything in our life. Lehodos ulhalel, to say thank you, Hashem, for every single thing that we have, and there is so much. Thank you for coming tonight. Have a great Hanukkah and a great Parshas Miketz. Always love the Torah. Always live the Torah. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Shalom, shalom, shalom.